The UK's Parliament is all set to reopen with the newly elected Labour government hours from now, and the speech by King Charles III will mark the reopening. And while it's the King's ceremonial duty, it's the first time that the speech will announce a new party's time in power. Now, while the speech is written by government officials, the monarch delivers it at the state opening of Parliament. It marks the beginning of a new parliamentary year or session. And it's also an opportunity for the government to set out its legislative agenda for the coming months. As part of the speech, the government will also announce bills which are to be introduced to the Parliament, as well as other policy priorities which do not require legislation. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer's Labour Party is expected to announce more than 35 proposed pieces of legislation. These will include issues related to housing, energy, transport and the makeup of the House of Lords. During the election campaign, Labour pledged to phase out hereditary peers, which refers to 92 members of the House of Lords, and those who inherit their seats in Parliament from their fathers. This comes as part of a broader modernisation of the second chamber. Well, for more on this, we're being joined by our correspondent John Bevere live from Bristol. John, good to see you this morning. A big opportunity for the new Labour government to set its stall out today amongst the pomp and circumstance of the state opening of Parliament. Give us your assessment on what we can expect today.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right in terms of setting the stall out. This is very much a Labour government who say they need to hit the ground running, in the Prime Minister's words, saying that there are a lot of urgent challenges facing the UK. And as you pointed out, they will lay out exactly what they want the coming weeks and months to focus on in terms of the laws that need to be passed, as the Labour Party say, to fix elements of Britain that are quite simply broken. So we very much heard the Labour Party saying that these ideas, these policies are going to take the brakes off in regards to things like housing, to allow more housing to be built, because we do have a housing shortage in the UK, which is pushing the prices up, making homes unaffordable for many people, especially younger people. So that's one element that I would expect we're going to hear a lot about. Of course, the economy has been a huge issue here, this cost of living crisis that many countries, to be fair, have been experiencing, but certainly in the UK there has been an issue with prices going up and wages not keeping track with it as well. So expect a lot of the policies to focus on the economy as well as things like how to tackle migration, the National Health Service, all of these huge issues which the Labour Party say need to be fixed. Worth pointing out, though, that the Labour Party have said there is a problem in terms of how to finance all of this. They were very clear during the election campaign, and they will be clear again today as well, that in terms of how they pay for this, there is no magic money tree. There is no silver bullet to make all of this better all in one go. That they say they're going to do what they can, but they're going to do it in a financially responsible way. So it's trying to weigh up those two things. So certainly we expect to hear more about that today.
Absolutely. And just briefly, John, House of Lords reform, a contentious issue here in the UK and something Labour have been quite consistent about. What are your assessments on what might come out on House of Lords reform?
Yeah, as you mentioned, all to do with hereditary peers and passing down peerages through family lines. Certainly a lot of people believe that is an old-fashioned way of doing things. I think if Labour do make any announcements today, it's very much just them trying to tidy things up, deliver on promises that they have been making over the past few years. In terms of the actual impact, of course, the House of Lords doesn't have a huge impact on the legal process here, on the passing of laws, on governments getting policies through. But it's very much just a way of checking on the government. It's another check, but it can the government can just kind of bypass them and push through them. So not as important as it has been in recent years, but certainly something that a lot of people think needs looking at, that it is outdated and that things finally need to change.
OK, John Bevere, our correspondent, joining us live there from Bristol in the UK. Many thanks.